Hello mamas, if you've ever felt like you're not doing enough or being enough, this video is for you. Let's talk about why your kids don't need a perfect mom, they need a present one. Hi, my name is Stephanie. I'm a certified yoga therapist and life coach for moms who want to just let go of the pressures, the expectations, so that they can show up with more intention, joy, trusting themselves. Okay, let's dive in. Starting with the myth of the perfect mom. Maybe as soon as I say perfect mom, you already have this image that pops in your head. And it's this internalized expectations just from your upbringing, from social media, from Hollywood, from culture, right? It's this idea that's unrealistic, unattainable, and it's going to vary from place to place. So I'm recording this in the United States in upstate New York. If you're in a different part of the country, it may be different. Again, there's going to be some universal expectations, but then it's going to maybe different depending on where you live, as well as if you live across the globe. And it breaks it even further, right? So maybe in your church, maybe in your kid's school, it's going to look a little different too, as well as in your, even in your inner circle, right? There's these expectations of what this perfect mom is going to do, say, be involved with, how she's going to raise her kids. And it's exhausting. It's exhausting trying to attain all of these, what you should and shouldn't do, that we can lose ourselves in the journey. And so often we feel like we're failing, right? It always feels like we're not doing enough, not being enough. If I was more like that mom, if I was more like Jenny, if I was more like Olivia, wherever, right? If I was more like that. And that mom is probably saying the same about you and 10 other moms, right? It's this feeling, again, of not measuring up, because that bullseye, the ideal perfect mom is way up here, something that we're never going to strive for. And even if we take steps closer towards it, the bullseye seems to move a little further away, right? And we lose ourselves. So maybe, in your circle, the perfect mom is one who, has an organic garden and makes food from scratch every night, and everything is an organic, lean, green, everything's right. And maybe that's not what matters most to you. Maybe what matters most to you is having a simple meal and maybe some game time, right? And it doesn't mean one is right and one is wrong. It's find what works for you. What matters most to you, spending time just kind of with curiosity, not with judgment, with compassion. Where are some of these beliefs coming from that you have? Is it from growing up? And maybe you thought, if your mom was like this, or she was more like your best friend's mom, or whatever, right? And so then you start adopting those, and when you become a mom, you're like, it just doesn't feel good. But you had these ideas that when you became a mom, you would do X, Y, and Z. But if they're not serving you, just let them go, right? Maybe it's in your circle that all the moms are doing, are signing up to help out with their kids' sporting events, and you're just not interested, or it's taken away from something else that's more important to you. Again, just spending time understanding, again, what matters most to you. Where are your values? What memories do you want to create with your child? Where do you want to put your energy? Because again, it is exhausting. We only have so many hours in the day. And truth be told, what your kids need more than anything is you, right? They need to feel safe. They need to feel loved. They need your presence. They need that connection with someone special, and that someone special is you. You are enough just as you are. And when you're trying to live up to these expectations, again, that maybe not reflect what matters most to you, it's hard to be fully present. It's hard to turn off that brain of what you should be doing and shouldn't be doing. When we let those expectations go and we can just show up as our authentic selves, our kids feel that they can show up as themselves, right? They want to be loved for who they are. When we're trying to strive for perfection, sometimes our kids can pick up on that, right? And they're trying to be more perfect. When we just, again, show up as ourselves, we have that energy. Again, maybe there's things that we're doing, with our kids because it's their interest, right? We're not trying to mold our kids into perfect children. We know that doesn't exist any more than a perfect mother exists. And so just, again, giving yourself that grace, allowing yourself what matters most to you. How do you want to show up? What are the memories you want to create with your child? What fills your cup? Because when we're doing things that energize us, that get us excited, our kids feel it, right? When we're happy, they're happy. When we have our interest, it lets them have their interest. And then give yourself permission to be human. Right? Moms are still humans. We have the super moms with the capes. Moms are still human. We're all wonderful, but we're still human. We make mistakes. And when we make mistakes, it allows our kids to make mistakes. It says that we're human. And maybe our mistake we want to apologize for, right? Maybe, we snapped our kid. No mom wants to snap at our kids, but it's inevitable. We're going to snap at some point. At some point, we're going to snap at our child. And it gives us an opportunity to say, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Maybe you say, I'm sorry. I was hungry. I was tired. I was frustrated. I'm sorry I snapped. Right? When we model that, it teaches our kids that it's okay to make mistakes, for one. We're all going to make them, right? It gives them permission to know it's okay to make mistakes. Two, it lets them know that they can be forgiven, right? When we're apologizing, it lets them know that, and they're forgiving us, we can be forgiven, and then they can ask for forgiveness. They can make an apology when they make mistakes, that it's okay. So there's lessons to be learned in the mistakes that are going to happen. Just embrace them. It's part of the journey. Letting go, again, of the expectations. Sometimes, we get ready if your family if you want to do create crafts, you want to be creative, right? You want to do these things. It's going to be messy. Maybe the ideal perfect mom has the neat house, right? And maybe that's not you. Maybe you're trying to put all this energy into cleaning house. And really, yeah, if we want hygiene, right? I'm a mom, I'll confess, I love glitter. Kids are getting a little older for it now. But it doesn't bother me. It really does. I know other moms, again, glitter is not coming into our house, right? And it's fine. Both ways of parenting is fine. Finding what works for you. Again, true story, there was a couple of years ago, I didn't always pick up my daughter from school. She rode the bus more days than not, I would say. And there was a day I was going to pick her up, and lo and behold, the time came. I was taking care of stuff with my mom for her, so she had some appointments. I was taking care of that. I had some things for work. I finally got to the end. I was like, okay, I had a few minutes before my daughter comes home. Take a quick shower. And don't I get a call from the school? You were supposed to pick up your daughter today. Is that correct? Yes, I was. I was totally supposed to pick her up. I will be right there, right? Quickly get in the car, go pick her up. Now there's an alarm on my phone. Reminds me what time I have to pick up my daughter. Because now I pick her up every day. I know she's a little older. She's just not as pain in the butts. But I was asking her in preparation for recording this today, what are just some mistakes that I've made? I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't ask our children that. But anyways, I did. And she's thinking. She's like, well, there was a night I wanted to bake, and you said it was too late. Oh, okay. So then I mentioned about this bus ride incident. She completely forgot about it. She knows the alarm goes off. She put the emojis in it, and it goes off. She knows because of the days that there's no school, it still goes off when we're home. But it completely slipped her mind, right? Man, we're going to make mistakes. It matters more to our kids that we're there, that we're involved in their lives, that we accept them. When we accept ourselves, it's easier to accept our kids with all their, their beautiful messes, right? With their, with who they are. When we accept ourselves, we can accept our children more. We show up with more energy. We show up, again, just feeling more confident in who we are and our parenting. And we welcome all the mistakes. It's just learning opportunities. I hope that, you know that you are enough. You are the mom picked for your child. You are what your child needs. You are enough. And I know that, so often we hear that message, right? We hear that message, and it's head knowledge. We know that we are enough, right? But to embrace it in your heart, right? Make it your intention, maybe, just to say, I am enough. And even if you don't feel it today, maybe you don't feel it in the moment, but to inhale and exhale. Inhale the truth that you are enough. Exhale any doubts, any hesitations, any worries that you are not enough, that you have to do more. Just exhale them out. Let's let them go and make that part of your routine, because it is hard. It is hard, especially when you go onto social media and you see these perfect families. And we know that AI is part of some of those pictures, and we know that Photoshop and editing, right, is part of that. If you're finding that showing up on there is maybe draining some of your energy, just maybe let it go for a while, right? Just let it go. If certain things, these expectations, can journal on it, find what matters most to you. If you find that you're striving for things that just don't matter, just slowly let one go at a time. Not looking for an overnight, overhaul, but just finding little ways that you can trust yourself, that you can accept that you are enough. If you have any questions, anything that comes up, if you want to talk about anything from this video, I invite you to reach out to me. You can send me an email. If you want the latest updates, if you want the latest video releases, just for some encouragement, maybe some good takeaways that you can put into practice, I invite you to subscribe. And my prayer is that you know you are enough just as you are, and let that just help to fuel you through your day. Thank you for making time to watch, and I look forward to connecting with you on the next video.